Hi guys. Thank you so much for clicking this or loading this and tuning into my first official video on my YouTube channel. I'm very excited about it personally. It's something that I have considered doing for a while, but the courage hasn't exactly been there. Yeah, I'm just thrilled. So the format for this is a little mobile. It's a little less, production. I tried to clean up the back behind me, but I'm hoping it'll be a little higher quality in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to do an introduction and basically explain a little bit about why I started it. So to those of you that know me, I have done photography for a few years, and for the most part, I haven't really had much confidence or comfort in considering myself a professional, mainly just because a lot of what I've been doing is just self-taught, or it's self-produced, self-made. I don't depend on photography as an income. I do something else right now as a living. So because of that, there's never really been a huge incentive to start a YouTube channel. But that changed recently. The reason being, I downloaded an app called Clubhouse. Now, this video won't be specifically about Clubhouse or what that app has in it, but a lot of my desire to start a YouTube channel was really sort of pushed forward, I would say exponentially, by the past week, 2 weeks, conversations I've been able to have with other photographers, not even people looking for photographers. And what I've taken away from it is a few things. One, there are a lot of photographers out there, and to many, I think that would seem to be, good evidence or good reason to not have a channel or to not try and make a career out of making content, just because of the saturation level. But here's something else beyond that I've discovered. Yes, a lot of photographers exist, but every photographer is different. That sounds kind of cliche. It sounds like so easy to just hear and write off. But in truth, something I've seen from being able to interact with people's content and see where they are in the world and what type of work they do, and hear about the nuances of the focus they have, it's pretty much blowing my mind just how much there actually is to photograph, how much of life there is that's worth documenting and preserving, which really kind of leads into my final point, which is that there seems to be a very clear need for a voice of encouragement, a person who is willing to take the time and not talk about a specific camera or a specific piece of gear every waking minute on their platform. And that is not to dismiss gear talk. I think it's important and it's effective. But what I'm seeing is that in the midst of this sort of saturation of talking about camera gear, we've sort of missed, a really big part of the conversation, which is why do you get out of bed every morning and pick up the gear that you've chosen? Why do you, as an artist, as a photographer, as someone who wants to document the world, to create things, to spend your life making things that are beautiful, what really gets you to that moment where you're not, laying under the covers and just hoping that, the alarm clock doesn't go off? What propels you? What moves you forward? And beyond that, what common trait and what common piece of the story of all of our lives connects us as photographers? I have seen the unfortunate side effects of people who have really been, I wouldn't say the victim, but the subject of animosity for being treated as if, the art that they make is less valuable than the art made by other people. And I feel like that conflict really just comes from the amount of insecurity that photographers and artists today seem to have around the industry, around the concept of like, can I make it? Can I fight for myself, to make it above the rest, and that really just brings me to the first point, I guess, that I want to make before I start making videos, which is that there's room for everyone. And I think that we have, in many ways, handicapped ourselves as photographers by not taking the time and assessing, why we do what we do, and what brings us to the point of making art. If that point is something that is not true to us, if it's not truthful to us, we stand to lose. We stand to actually not even really make art. We stand to make a thing that can just be consumed. So that's kind of really what started this. That's really what kicked it off. And I know this is super informal. Again, the finishing touches and the production stuff will probably increase over time. But yeah, I just felt like this would be a good place to start, a good spot to sort of lay the groundwork. And I really am not sure what the schedule is going to be like, or how often they're going to get made. But for the time being, I am hoping to get a few of these out a month. Maybe not one a week. That'll depend. But I'm going to try and get a pretty routine cycle going. So if any of what I said so far in this video has appealed to you, or if it makes sense to you and you're a photographer, feel free to, one, subscribe, because I would actually love it if this thing is successful. But two, send me a message or find me on Instagram, and let me know if there's a point to anything I said that resonated with you, and if there's anything you want me to share, if there's anything you want me to unpack, if there's anything that you think should be discussed, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, I hope that all of you have a great day. I hope that if you get the chance to enjoy some snow, that you do. If you live someplace where there's warm weather, you're lucky. But yeah, I hope you all have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching this, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Bye.